back and getting that 1-5?
I think we've talked about it as a team a lot, but we just went out with a lot of confidence and knew when we needed to play and what shots we needed to hit. I think there were times when we weren't playing our cleanest, but we were still able to come out on top, which is what we wanted.
So just sum up the weekend. I mean, you win twice yesterday. You get the come back in 5 sets and win today. Just sum up the weekend.
Yeah, I think it was a really good weekend for us. We played some really tough teams, and coming out with 3 wins is honestly like super impressive. Like, I think we're all super proud of ourselves, but I think this is only the beginning. Like, we've seen that we can go 3-0 on the weekends, so now we're like ready for more.
Okay, Matt, talking about the block. Early in the match, you weren't quite getting as successful on the block as you were later in the match. Was there a scheme change or just some change defensively to allow you to be more efficient on the block later in the match?
Yeah, as the match went on, we decided to start releasing on their outsides a little bit more, and I think that allowed us to have a lot more success. Our pin blockers on the outside did a really good job taking the right side one-on-one, so that allowed us as middles to really go and help on the outside, who was scoring a lot more of their points.
And obviously offensively, over 20 kills the first time in your career. What's that feel like?
That's pretty awesome. Coming in, I never thought I could accomplish that, but my goal was 20, so it's pretty awesome, but I couldn't do without my team.
Elizabeth, talk about just the balance offensively. You got to a strong set in the first set, kind of hit a lull there, second set. But as a team, came back through. You obviously came back through. But you look at up and down the board, 5 people with more than 7 kills.
Definitely. I think as an outside, it opens things up for me. It opens things up for Harms. The middles in the beginning of the sets were kind of releasing out on me, so it allowed our middles to have more one-on-one situations and sometimes one-on-none. So I think B really found openings in the block, and I think when we have a balanced offense like that, it just allows our attackers to have seams in the block, and it makes it a little bit easier for us too.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
Great win. Go ahead and give us an opening comment.
I mean, what a match. Offensively, I think both teams were able to get into some really good rhythms. Early on in set 1, actually the whole set 1 was very offensive, us hitting 500, them hitting over 300. Then they kind of switched. They hit over 500, we hit just under 300. But I think offensively, both teams kind of had a plan, were able to take advantage of some of the matchups. And it was fun to be a part of. Earlier on, especially in set 1, I felt like it really came down to a couple of defensive plays. We obviously struggled in set 2, and to be completely honest, we talked about just letting it go, not dwelling on it, moving on essentially. And I feel like we responded pretty well. Once we get into the 5th set, there's just such a confidence with our team right now in 5th sets, partly because of the fact that we've played quite a few and have had success in that moment. But there was just a different level to us in that 5th set, and it was great to see. We were cleaner offensively, made some really big defensive plays. We did adjust our block a little bit at the end of the 4th set, and it made a difference for us. B got the big one at the end of the 4th, and I think it started to make their outsides think a little bit more. They still had a ton of success. We were just able to find just that little bit more at some big moments.
You talk about defensively, we always talk about the back row. The block obviously adjusted a little bit, like you said, weren't getting success in terms of turning them into points early in the match. But later in the match, 4 big blocks there in the 5th set.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was 4 in the 5th set. Yeah, I mean, just at 11 team blocks again, and it's a really good team. It's a really tough team to actually defend and get 2 blockers up consistently on them. They were in system a little bit too much for us to do that early on. The 5th set, we got them out of system a little bit more, and we were able to get a little bit of a better block up where our defense could play behind them a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, again, 5th set, we came up, we made plays, we didn't wait for them to make errors, and I think that definitely showed again just that intent with our team in the big moment.
And offensively, we've always talked, like you said, balance. Elizabeth gets a lot of the credit for getting the Harms with 30 attempts today, and to put down 22 of those, obviously, as a middle, speaks volumes of their defensive in the back row, getting the ball to Brooklyn, to get the ball, to get the opportunity to get the ball past them?
Absolutely. I mean, I know it doesn't necessarily look like we were extremely balanced just with the kill numbers, but we did actually distribute the ball a little bit more evenly, which was good. And, you know, Bryn, she had 8 kills. She still hit 300. And that was big for us because when they were releasing out on our outsides, we were able to get her involved more one-on-one or one-on-none situations. And then it forced them to at least think before they released. And with that, then it opened up a little bit more on the backside. But we're going to have matches that we find a matchup. We're going to have matches where we have maybe somebody go off, you know, like Junkie 23 kills, hit 370. I mean, that's really, really hard to do against a really good team. And then Harms 22 hitting 633. Like, I mean, you have middles that maybe hit 633 and have, you know, 8 to 10 kills, not 22, you know, so she was just automatic. And she just played with a really, really high level of confidence today. She knew what she needed to do. She knew what was open. And I think, honestly, she took kind of what happened last night and rolled it into today and just really fed off of the success that she had last night, too. So, I mean, that was huge. It's a career high for her. And she came up with them in big moments. And she came up with them when the connection wasn't always great. But I do think that we were patient enough defensively to find those opportunities to use her. You know, we did force her in a couple moments and she was still able to find ways to score, but we were able to get enough digs that we finally found that one opening where she was, again, had a good look.
Talk about a little bit about the facing adversity down 2-1 going into the fourth set and having to really claw back into it and get the ball, not only get to the fifth set and then obviously winning the fifth set.
Yeah, it shows a lot of resiliency. That is a tough situation to be in, especially because we didn't really feel like we probably should have been in that situation since we were up big in the third and kind of let that one go. But the greatest thing about this team right now is they're responding. You know, we're not always going to be perfect. We're still going to have some ups and downs. We're going to have some moments where we don't feel like we're playing to our standard. And our goal obviously is to even that out as the season goes. But I like how they responded. I like how they didn't wait for them to make errors or to give us points. We went and made plays and, you know, forced ourselves into success. And that's what we need to do. But I think we just got better, you know, after that third set, we got better in sets 4 and 5. And I think our serving picked up a little bit. We got them out of system a little bit more. We had a couple rotations that we were able to keep them in more often, and it made the difference for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.